the presentation. Can everyone see the presentation?
Yeah.
Cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, you'll have to sort of say, because you're just in a little corner. So I can't see you if you're nodding.
I can see it. Yeah, we can all see it, yeah.
Nice. Okay, so shall we do just a bit of a catch up from last time then? So tell me some of the stuff that we covered in our sort of first marketing session. Just shout a few things out that you remember.
Touch points.
Touch points, love that. Anything
13
else?
13 of them, stuff like that. But how important the brand is for your brand.
Yeah. Anything else?
Mailers, about all the stuff that we do through email.
Mailers.
Influencing the market.
Yes, ding, ding, ding. Influencing the market. That was a key one that we sort of talked about. Have you, I'm assuming you've obviously all been up and running on LinkedIn now. What kind of sort of content things have we been seeing on LinkedIn that we can sort of bring into this session?
I like
polls.
I was literally about to say the polls, because
Yeah.
I had a few responses on that, and obviously it was one that obviously was saying if you're open to work, so you've got that immediate obviously list of people
that
you can contact. So yeah, it just makes it a lot easier, I think.
Yeah, nice one. Anything else from anyone?
Also sorry.
Far away. Far away.
Also the CV as well. I think you posted something saying upload your CV or something to do with that. So I had a few emails through the LinkedIn post.
Nice.
To do with that.
Okay, brilliant. So it sounds like you sort of all starting to see some of the wins that are coming from it as well, and how your content is being used as, you know, not necessarily the post that you did, say if people aren't necessarily going to react to it or comment on it, but it is having an effect in terms of doing the things that you want them to do. So for example, send through a CV, things like that. So yeah, that's brilliant that you picked up on that, and also the polls as well. The polls are really great for, as you said, like collecting data on people. And /or, so obviously for you it's been like availability, when are you free, contract, blah blah blah. But you can also use it to sort of generate sort of topics around the market. What are the markets saying? What are the trends? So for example, on I know I posted on yours, Nathan, didn't I? Like, which NetSuite module do you specialize
I like
in?
That was helpful.
Yeah.
That actually really did help. It was good.
So was that helpful for you in terms of what, just finding people, or just like understanding
it helped me sort of familiarize myself with the modules that people tend to do. So what's a little bit more niche.
Yeah. So that's the way you can gather data on people. And /or, like, say if like a lot of people are specializing in a certain area, well, why are they? What does that mean then further along down the chain? If people are specializing in the finance module, for example, how do they fit into the wider business, and how can you then sort of apply that, maybe talk about that with clients, why a finance consultant are beneficial for your company, etc. But it can also drive ideas and generate ideas for the bits of content, which leads me nicely onto Paiger. So I think last time, did I show you this slide last time, guys? Nathan and Cara. I know I did to Olivia, but I can't remember what I showed you. No. So here's just a bit of a preview on what Paiger can do. So this is just an overview. So in terms of content creation and sort of scheduling, sort of where you're finding content centrally, things like that, Paiger is your number one tool. So as I've just said, you can schedule content, you can create content, you have access to customizable branded templates. So that's like, as we said, your personal brand sits within the IT Works brand. So everything you're going to put out there, assets, things like that, needs to be branded IT Works, that people obviously know that you're the IT Works expert. as I just mentioned, you have access to pre-made content on the Vault. I mean, I don't know whether you've heard people talk about that before. Has anyone heard of the Paiger Vault?
No.
No?
No.
No, well, that's where you'll find most of the content that people are posting are actually in the Vault. And what the Vault is there to do is, so we as a marketing function then sort of add content to it for you to share. So it'll be content that we either created for the company, or it'll be content created off the back of a conversation or off the back of a blog that we've uploaded to the website. So everything's there basically tailored to your needs and directly accessible for you to share whenever. Literally, it's so simple. I'll run you through it in a bit, just how easy it is to share that kind of content. You also have access to view content from your colleagues, so it's a bit like a filtered wall. So like a bit like a filtered feed, should I say, where just your IT Works colleagues, you can see what they posted, and then from there you can immediately either share it so you can steal their posts, which I always recommend you to do, because why not steal somebody else's great content and claim it as your own. And then you've got access to AI writing features. So has anyone used any products like ChatGPT?
Yeah.
Yeah? How useful is it?
Amazing.
It got me
God,
criminology
I love
A
it.
level.
It got you through your criminology
A
degree?
level. It did.
Yeah. How often are you using it, Olivia?
Quite often. I used it to start this job.
Nice. Yeah. How did you use it as part of your process? Was it like CV or
The presentation.
presentation? Nice.
Really?
Yeah.
Why didn't I do that? That's such a good idea.
Kara's like, damn, I missed a trick there.
3 days of my life I'm not
Yeah.
getting back.
It just helped me. It helped me like bulk out what I wanted to say. Do you know when you can't
Yeah.
think of the words you want to use, but they're in there? They're just
Yeah,
not.
if you
Yeah.
tell them if you tell them like a scenario, that they literally
Yeah.
retype it, don't they, and like make it extensive.
Yeah.
So it is pretty good.
Yeah. I mean, I use it all the time for like writing bits of copy, or, you know, like transcribing something, or for ideas generation. And what Paiger does is it has an AI writing feature similar to what ChatGPT does. So you can basically, I'll show you the share screen. I mean, you can see it here. Everyone see this bottom one?
Yeah.
So here in the share one, you can just literally type in your prompt. So give it as much context as possible. And then it literally produces everything, but in a LinkedIn post style. So it include hashtags. The structure of it will be tailored towards LinkedIn. You can set up your own personality. So there's a way of differentiating your voice compared to other people's as well. So that's really, really going to be a really useful tool for you to use as and when. And from the sounds of it, you're already sort of incorporating sort of AI into your processes anyway. So this is just another version of AI that you can be using for content creation. And lastly, Paiger has shareable market news and insights. So I don't know whether some of you have seen on your own LinkedIn feeds right now, but I know Cara, I posted a bit of market news, which came straight from Paiger. I did not find that on the web. It just got delivered straight to your dashboard. And I thought, oh, that'd be good to share for Cara. Did a little prompt in Ghostwriter asking me to summarize this article, add bullet points, blah, blah, blah. Posted it. Would have taken me less than 5 minutes to do that, and I think it got something like 25 likes or something. And I think it's got over.
A celebrity over here.
She is. She's a little celeb. She's got over. I think it's over 2,000 impressions on that post. Which is that you only had like 200 followers at the time, so I think it'd be like something like 200%. I don't know how much that is. How much is that percent
All right,
over
for some.
your followers?
200.
But yeah.
100%.
100%. So yeah, so that's just sort of a bit of what the market news does and the insights does for you. You can also use it obviously for your own knowledge to find out more about what's happening in the market, that you can then use to obviously having your conversations with the people that you're speaking to and whatnot. So this is just an overview of your content combinations. So this will all make sense probably when you get to the, I'll get to the overview bit here. So this is sort of what your LinkedIn post should look like and be structured like. So I don't know whether, has anyone done any sort of content creation marketing bits before?
No.
No. Okay.
No.
So here we'll sort of teach you the language of sort of how to create content. So if you have a look at your own sort of content and the content here, you'll find that it's always structured in this way. So at the start, you have the opening line or the hook that we like to call it. So the hook is literally does what it says on the tin. It hooks people in. So that should be a standout statement. So things like stats are great. Things like rhetorical questions are great. Can anyone think of anything else that they've seen? Maybe a fact or something. I know. I think I've done like a did you know on all of your accounts. Like a did you know that in this market, blah blah blah. So then you've obviously got that at the top. You've got clear line spacing throughout. So that's really important because it's like if you're reading something, you don't want it to be in chunky block paragraphs here because likelihood is if you're not spending time reading it and you can't read it, nobody else is. So always think as well, clear line spacing. How can I just like move that sentence so it's, underneath so people can read it a lot quicker because likelihood is they're just going to skim your post. And then what you're going to do is you're going to have a structured and easy, accessible format. So, for example, in this one, we've done about contractors delivering the whole project. Somebody, a client, has asked that question, and you've answered it in with 5 things. So you've put the questions here. What is the project goals and timeline? You've added in an emoji, and then you've done another thing that you can consider. So you can see it's broken down into 5 easy steps. How easy is that to read?
Easy.
Easy? Easy? Yeah, if that was a paragraph, would you read it?
No.
Probably not.
No.
Absolutely not.
Absolutely not. That's what we like to hear. So that's what we like to see. Structured and easy, accessible format, simple and direct language. So the best way to sort of write and create content is to just write how you would speak and/or get AI to help you sort of bulk out what it is that you're trying to say. Say you might just have a topic, for example. How can you then make it simple and direct for people to actually understand the message and take in what you're saying on your post? And then lastly, as we come to the bottom of the post, we have the CTA, or as it's called, a call to action. So that is a thing, what do you want them to do? So in your case, engagement is great. So you could ask them a question like we've done here to try and get them to sort of engage in the comments. What other questions would you consider? You could put things like your contact details. You could put things like a link to the website. You could put things like a link to your Calendly, things like that. So you've got different ways of sort of trying to get people to do what you want. Not everything's going to be a send me a message or contact me, because not everyone wants to be sold to in every single post. So sometimes it's great to sort of mix these CTAs up so that you can give people a value add and the opportunity to then engage and have a conversation with you before it's then the direct sell of, are you a hiring manager? Are you looking for a job? Things like that. And then at the end, you've got your hashtags. So we always use sort of our branded hashtags and/or Paiger has this feature where you can sort of research the hashtags, see how popular they are, and you could include them in your content. So along with your written content, you'll also have a different type of media. So this media could be things like a GIF, it could be things like an image, it could be things like a Canva design, it could be a video. So this leads me back on to, so the content combinations. So like I've just said there, the different types of things that you can have alongside your text. These are the different combinations that you can have. Now, Paiger can literally do anything you want, but all it can't do is schedule your polls. So if you were to do a poll, you'd have to do a poll directly on LinkedIn. But everything else is designed to help you save time creating content and have access to all your canvas, branded images, things like that. So any questions so far? Because I'll be moving on to Paiger now to show exactly how you can do that.
Is
No.
Paiger like an app, or is it like an extension on LinkedIn?
So Paiger is its own product. So we pay for Paiger separately, but it's linked to LinkedIn. So essentially what it does is you'll go there. I'll show you it now, in fact. Escape. So here, so you'll be using predominantly sort of in the next few weeks, these sort of content things here. And then what you can do is you can schedule content ahead of time. So it helps you save time rather than having to go on LinkedIn every day and sort of schedule a post. So what you can do is you can get really ahead in advance and or sort of reshare post that's done well. And it's all in there so you don't have to think about it. And obviously the other things, like I've said before, so you create content in here, you schedule it, and it goes directly out on your LinkedIn's. So yeah, so that's the basics of what it does, but it has loads of other different features on there as well that's going to really help you out. But for today, we'll just sort of mainly be focusing on how you can create content and what content's going to be sort of going out on your account. But great question. I think that was a bit of a long-winded answer, but there we are.
You explained it well.
Good. Okay.
When do we have to start making our own to post?
So you'll be starting making your own. So I'll set you a little task after this meeting, and then hold on, I think you can see my screen still. There we are. So yeah, I'll be setting you a little task after this to sort of go ahead and create your own sort of personal post, as we call it. And then from next week, you'll sort of be starting to schedule it on your account. But what I don't want you to think is that you're completely by yourself in that. We don't just sort of like show you the product, show you what to do, and then just leave you to it. Like, you'll be working with probably majority Alex, and then there's going to be a new lady starting, Amy. So you'll be working with them and sort of the marketing function to then help you plan your content, create content, come up with ideas, help you to sort of utilize Paiger as well. Because we know that you don't just get it first time around. Like, sometimes it takes a while to get used to and to sort of like embed in your processes. But yeah, so you'll be starting to post content from next week, sort of autonomously from your account. So I'll show you around. So as I showed you before, in fact, I'll log into your account, Nathan.
I'm logged into my account. Is that going to cause any issues?
No, it should be fine.
Okay, mint.
So here we have Nathan's dashboard. So like I said, you'll be using probably these 5 just for this session. But then it does have some really awesome BD tools over here that you'll be getting training on sort of later down the line. But what we have is share, schedule, vault, wall, and Boolean searches, like we've just sort of gone over. So say if you were to, say if you wanted to start a post or have a look at your content schedule, you go over to here, and what this is a calendar of everything that you've got going on. So you can see here, if it's grayed out like this, that means it's not going out in your account. But if it's fully sort of blocked out, that means it's going to be posted onto your account. So as you can see here, there's bits in grey. And the reason for that is Paiger suggests content for you to use. So it will pre-write something based on sort of your AI prompts that we've added to your account. Or when you start posting jobs on the website, I'm sure you would have seen my email the other day. But essentially, if you post a job on the website, Paiger does this really cool thing where it'll automatically take that job and post it and advertise it onto your LinkedIn account. So it would be things like, if I go onto LinkedIn now, go onto your account, Nathan, so that you can see exactly sort of how it looks and sort of what's been scheduled.
Is that handsome fella?
Who is he? I don't know him. I don't think I've ever met him.
Be lucky if you
340
did.
people like him, though.
Man of the people, obviously, this guy. Oh, get that off, though. No, no.
I think it's great with full volume.
No, that's all funny.
So we can see here, this is the kind of content that's been posting out on Nathan's account. So that's all come from this content schedule here. So what I recommend you to do is, if you do want to start a post, always go to the schedule bit so it automatically selects a date. So say if you wanted to put something in for next week, you'd click on the date and then it automatically puts it in for you, so you don't have to think about it. And then what you do, always make sure that this is highlighted, because if it's not, it doesn't go out on your LinkedIn. I've had that one before. And this is essentially where you're going to put all your written content in. So as I said before, you probably majority be using quite a lot of the AI features to sort of get you started in sort of how to create content, what it's going to sound like, how it's going to be structured. So, for example, what have you guys been talking about with your...
Has he come all the way upstairs for that?
No, I think he has. So with your sort of candidates and clients, what's sort of a topic or something that's come up in your conversations that you've been having?
Me or generally?
Just generally, and to anyone who'd like to pitch in.
In what sense? Like,
So for example, so your content is designed to sort of obviously showcase you're an expert. It's designed to sort of add value, and the ways that you can add value is by discussing topics that you've been talking about with your clients and candidates. That could be
people were speaking about a new module.
A new module, yeah. So for example, a new module, yeah, trends, market trends, things like that. Could be a client objection, it could be a candidate objection. So for example, if it was a client, it could be like, oh, well, why should I work with you as a recruiter compared to, say, like, just post my ad on Indeed? What would you say to that? Your value is that you're a specialist recruiter, you know your market, you're an expert in your field, you have access to X, Y, Z. So like, if that one client's been asking that question, how can you then answer that question for multiple people? You can do that through your content. So for example, if it was a new module in NetSuite, or it was something like you wanted to say more about like a technical consultant or something, you can add that to prompts. So if you were going to sort of write a post about that new module, Nathan, what would you ask Ghostwriter?
I'm not too sure. It should be like this. Yeah, I'm not too sure.
So what I'd suggest is you could say, please, could you like to be nice to AI, just in case the robots take over. Please, could you write me a LinkedIn post? LinkedIn post that talks about NetSuite trends. I'd like this post to include bullet points and for the CTA to be a question to my audience.
The CTA is like the top bit, right?
CTA is the bottom bit. So the hook is the thing that draws them in. The CTA tells them what to do.
The call to action, right?
The call to action, yes. So to be a question to my audience, asking the you just press Ghostwriter and it writes it for you.
Would you recommend sort of using the stuff that gets suggested by Paiger?
I think yes, if it's something that you think is relevant to you, yes, use it. But what I'd say to anything that you use, always check it before it goes out, because that is essentially going to be you in the post. Like, people think it's you saying it, so make sure that it's from a recruiter's perspective. Make sure it's something that you'd actually say. Like, if it's like advice on, like I don't know what would be really relevant, but like I don't know, like if you were doing something that made you sound like you were, say for example, a NetSuite finance consultant, rather than talking about IFS financial consultants within a recruitment sort of sense, rather than like the technicalities of a module, for example. So here, as you can see, it's literally created the post for you. Like, how long did that take? Probably less than 30 seconds. And you've already got a great bit of content there. As you can see, so the sort of content overview that we did before, so you've got your hook up there. You've obviously got clearly sort of spaced lines. You've got your CTA at the end, and then you've got your hashtags. So if you thought, yep, great, go ahead and post, you can just obviously post it as it is. But say if you wanted to then make edits to it, you can ask for changes. So you don't have to just take it as, oh, well, that's it, that's the post done. You could say, write me a more engaging hook that uses and did you know?
Wow.
There we are. So yeah, so that's one way you can edit it as well. If you're like, great, yes, fabulous, right, good to go. What you can then do is, like we said before, you can add your media. So for Paiger here, the buttons that you want to be looking at is this plus button. It's the suitcase button and it's the more button. So if you press plus, this will be used for uploading. So say if you had your own sort of image, so say for example, if you took a photo of you on a walk at the weekend and you were doing a post about getting out in nature, work office, work-life balance, you can add the photo in here by dragging and dropping, or you can browse, select on your files. And it works for videos as well. So the videos that you'll most likely be doing within your content, you'll add them this way by dragging and dropping or browsing.
Would you recommend posting like personal stuff on there?
Yeah, so we'll work with you on that. But what we usually say is personal post is great because it gets to know you more as a person. Obviously, people buy into people. But what we don't want it to be is just like a life update, like, just went to the shop last night, bought 3 bags of sweets. Just for the sake of posting content. Like, it has to have sort of a reason behind why you're posting it, or a story, or it could be an achievement. Like, for example, Will does some great ones. Like, I think he posted one about completing his marathon or something the other day. So I do suggest sites sort of posting things like that, because it shows as well that you're not just like a robot, and you're not just like some corporate suit sat there going steals. Like, it shows that you're a more rounded person.
Yeah.
So yes is the answer to that. So that's images and videos. Branded GIFs are here, so you have access to these templates, so you can literally select one, So say, for example, if you wanted that one, and you can put a title of what you want to say. So say, for example, if you're saying market, you talk about NetSuite market trends. So you want to be putting NetSuite market trends. To look out for. You select your template and then you press build image, and it literally creates the GIF for you. So a GIF is great because, like, obviously with the way that we sort of like consume content and things like that, and making content stand out online, videos and sort of like moving images in general are going to be sort of a great way to sort of enhance the reach of your post and how engaging your post is going to be to someone. So as you can see here, it's then just apply the text onto the sort of GIF format. We've also done stuff like this. If you can see Nathan's thing here, securing long-term contracts and things like that. And then lastly, you have access to Canva. So after this, we'll probably be sending you your Canva logins. So this is access to designs where you can sort of apply text onto it in a different format, essentially. And it's designs sort of like created by Alex and sort of like us as a marketing function. So things like this, like templates, or for example, who does a really good one? We'll go David.
Canva.
So is it Canva? Amazing. I'm such an advocate. Just like easy drag and drop, and then you feel like you're like Picasso or something.
I had a whole module with it at uni. So
oh, did you?
Yeah, loved it.
What did you do at uni?
Business management.
Business management.
In my last 2 years, I was doing a tailored marketing modules.
You should be a whiz at this then.
Maybe.
Incredible. I'll be coming to you for Canva advice. So you can see stuff like this here. So this is all accessible on Canva, and literally all you have to do then, we made it so simple that you just have to add in the text. So this, for example, is he's just copied a testimonial that someone's given him on his LinkedIn, copied it onto Canva, and then just downloaded it. And then it just literally it links up to your Canva. Yours will look different to mine. Wait for it to load. Has anyone else used Canva before?
Yeah.
No.
No. You're missing out, Nathan.
You are.
I'm not the most creative human being, as I've been told.
You will be after this. Tell you what.
Picasso can be my middle name.
Yeah, exactly. I think marketing will be your middle name after this. It'll be
I'm up for that.
Nathan, sales marketing, Hopkins.
Nice. I'm up for that. I think I've got that in the bag. Man of many jack of all, master of none.
Exactly. So what you'll do here is you go to projects, and then you'll go to shared with you. And then obviously some of this is my Canva account. So this will not be yours. So for example, you'll have access to templates like this. We'll use Will as an example. And then what you'll do is here is you can just like literally fill in the text. And then once you're happy with it, blah, 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 done, publish. Okay. So you've all had mailer training, haven't you?
Yeah.
So you understand candidate market update, jobs, star candidate is skill set profiles. Yep. Yeah. So what you want to be doing is that's just not exclusively for email marketing. It's for content across all of the different channels. So that's including your LinkedIn as well. So if you, for example, have done your star candidate for the week, you already have that information right there, and it's already sort of filtered down as well. So what you can then do is you can just take that bit of information, put it onto a Canva graphic, and or use it as a post, put it in the body of the post here, and that's a bit of content for you right there. And what you've done is you've just promoted it on different channels. So I wouldn't be afraid of thinking that nothing has to be new. You can always sort of reuse content, and that's what we actively sort of want you to be doing as well, to get your message out to as many people as possible, because your network on LinkedIn could be different to your network on, well, the audience on your email marketing. And yeah, it's just a great way to sort of get your message out there is by repeating it on multiple channels. So that's your sort of how to sort of build the body of your text, how to sort of add images, graphics. Do we all feel confident that we'd be able to do that now? If I said, go away, create a post.
Yeah. So is Paiger like an app on the computer?
Yeah, so you just type in Paiger on your browser, you just click onto the website and you'll just press login. And that's where you'll sort of add the details that I've got on your post-it note for you. So that's literally a way of doing it.
Okay.
So here as well, so this is just like added little extras as well. So say, for example, you've worked with marketing on a blog. So we'll go on to you're like, oh, I'd really like to promote that blog because I did a lot of hard work on that and I want people to know about it and read it. So you'd go onto your sort of blog, you'd copy URL. And what this essentially does is if you then drop the link in here, it links whatever image you have up here to the blog. So it'll be something that you can click on and then it'll take you to the web page. And then also we obviously talked about your sort of engagement last time, how to build your personal brand on LinkedIn. And within that, we said some of it was your shares, your content, and also it was comments as well. So does anyone sort of have an understanding of the LinkedIn algorithm, how it works?
Yeah.
Yeah. So what LinkedIn does is it wants you to start a conversation. It wants people to be experts in the field. It wants people to engage. And the way that they do that is through comments. So we always say comments is king. And what Paiger allows you to do is it allows you to put comments in from yourself. So this will essentially be either a repeat of your CTA that you put in the body of the post. It could be an additional question. It could be an additional bit of information that you've not put in your post that you thought you'd add in the comments. And this way, when your post is posted, so for example, if we go back to your content, Nathan, you can see here what LinkedIn does is it only shows you the top of the post. Don't worry, the sound's gone.
It's the sleeves.
It's the
It's the
face.
fact you've rolled them up like you're ready.
They come like
It's
that.
like,
That is how they came. They the sleeves came buttoned there. They were not long originally.
You bought it like that. That's the worst.
I bought it like that. What do you mean the worst thing about it? I remember that, LB. Don't you worry. I remember that. I know where your office is. You just wait.
Not where yours is, apparently.
Well, some people get bonuses, right?
Yeah.
A high rise.
So as you can see, LinkedIn only shows you the top bit, which is why the hook is so important because it makes people want to click on it.
That's you.
So because people don't press more at times, what they will then do is they'll head to the comments first, and the comments will appear before they then click on the post. I'll then go onto your post to then give you a full demo.
But I had someone comment on one of my posts before. 2 reposts.
Yeah.
I was one of them.
Oh, you're a good egg, Cara.
Why do you not repost my stuff?
There's not really much to repost at the minute. I'm waiting for your video to come out.
Wait for it to drop.
I've got your video.
Should we just go out there? You know what I mean? Leave them to bicker.
Yeah.
I don't
got your
want to be
video,
caught in the
Cara.
crossfire. I've caught enough
Deleting.
flack with this haircut recently. I don't need to be involved.
Honestly, does it even look bad? From the front,
It's just
like,
wonky. It's just wonky from the sides, though, isn't it? So
yeah,
It'll
it could
grow.
do with a bit of a touch up.
It will grow. It could do with a touch up.
yeah.
Do it shaping off.
But at the front, it's fine. Anyway, we're digressing.
So, so what you can see here is you can see the comment bit. So obviously the hook is really important. The image is what makes the sort of post stand out. So that's going to be really important as well to add. And then your comments here is where people's are gonna sort of engage with you. People are going to read the conversation. The conversation actually might engage them more than the actual post itself. Have you been sort of is there anyone else that you follow on LinkedIn, like other than obviously our recruitment consultants, that you've seen like, oh, they speak about something really interesting, or oh, like I've clicked on that post because I saw that someone did a video on, I don't know, like how to bill 3 times your salary in a year or something like that.
Nothing massively.
No, not much.
I had to click on the really random stuff that people post, but like still like NetSuite stuff. But I find all them recruitment posts really interesting, like a story, and I'm sitting there like reading them.
Exactly. So if you think that you're sat there reading that story because you've just scrolled down your feed, that's what I want you to get in your head. That's what you need to be doing. How do people engage? You tell them a story and people bought in. So that's what your content should be doing. It should be telling a story. It should be adding value by telling a story. So which is why we sort of say when you create content, it's just not you're not plucking it out the ether. You're creating content based on things that you know or things that you can talk about, which is conversations in the market. So for example, you could do story time. I spoke to a client who 2 months ago said that they were okay with IFS support, but 2 months down the line after post go live with no IFS support, the system shut down. Here's why they should have hired extra support through the post go live period, to then they won't be in the situation now where they'd need to spend X amount on said person. Here's the takeaway: get your IFS support in place.
How many times would you say to post? Is that a few times a week or every week?
Yeah, so usually we like to say like 5 days a week, but it's completely dependent on what we don't want you to do is just be posting content for the sake of content. Everything has to be of quality, has to have a reason. So if you find that actually more people engage on 3 times a week, then you can be posting 3 times a week as well. Instead of sort of your 5 days a week. But I think having a clear sort of reason for why you're posting, having a strategy, seeing what works well, using the insights from your LinkedIn posts, that's what we really sort of want you to be taking away, is how can you be using the insights from this post? What sort of conversation is it generating? Is it working for your outcomes that you want to achieve? Rather than you have to post 5 days a week because we told you to post 5 days a week and you're getting little to no engagement, and therefore you get demoralized because you're like, well, what's the point in posting then? And then your account goes untouched for like 2 months.
Yeah.
So like we want you to do is be consistent in it so that you can then have that personal brand and representation that you want to be putting yourself out there. And content also shows that you're then active on LinkedIn. Like, I don't know about you, but if you saw a recruiter that only posted 4 months ago, you'd be like, are they still working in recruitment? Because I haven't seen anything from them. Like, it shows that you're engaged and sort of actively sort of in the market, talking about the market. It's a good way of showcasing who you are, which is your personal brand. So we do recommend 5 days a week initially, but then it's up to you really, sort of how many days you post, but we'd say probably minimum 3 so that you are still then active and on LinkedIn. So just going back to Paiger, so this is just the last thing on the share thing. So here you can either save as drafts. So if you're not quite ready to post content, like we saw before, the light grey bit means it's not going out, also means that it's saved as a draft. So if you wanted to save it as a draft, you can come back to it later on. If you feel like you haven't got time to it, to sort of complete it now. Or if you think, yeah, right, that's ready to post, you go share at scheduled time. And then because we clicked the specific day in the schedule, it's already come up with a date bit here. And then all we have to do is select the time.
Is there like a best time?
Yes, there is. Yeah. So we always say, and this is not just an IT work stat, this is sort of a general LinkedIn stat. Best time to post is between 9 and 11. And then if you can't post early on, then the next best time is to post 5 till 6. So if you really post outside of those hours, your content probably won't circulate as widely or get as much sort of traction as you'd like it to, because your sort of the traction of your post actually depends on sort of the first 24 hours of you posting it. So if you post it at a really random time that not many people are active, it's probably then still not going to have anything 24 hours later. So then therefore your content probably won't do as well. So for you, Olivia, that would look different, obviously, because you've got a German market. So that would be probably like 8 till 10. I think. Are you an hour ahead or behind?
Ahead, surely.
Ahead.
Yeah. So that you'd be posting 8 till 10 or 4 till 5.
I didn't even know there was a time difference.
That's funny. Yeah, but yeah, you're like, oh well.
Yeah, it's hard when you're booking meetings in and you work on their time.
Yeah, because they're like, oh yeah, surely you can come in at like 6 a.m. and you're like,
yeah,
maybe not. What was I saying? Times, days. There are best days to post as well. So people are most actively on LinkedIn Tuesdays and Thursdays. That's just a general stat. Yours could look different, but those are sort of the key times to post. And then so you've done everything on Paiger, you're happy for the post to go out, you would kind of want to preview it to see what it's actually going to look like. This is just a good way of doing final checks. Is it doing what you want it to do? Yep, right, it's good to go. You can then press share. So then if you do press share, it will then obviously come up on your schedule here, something like that, in the dark grey, and then you don't need to touch it then after that. It's all just good to go. So I'm aware that this has been quite long, so I just need your attention for like another 5 minutes or so. Are we all good so far? Any questions on sharing, posting, scheduling?
No.
Nope. Cool. Right, we'll go on to the vault. So the vault is amazing. So as I said before, it's pre-made content ready for you to share. So what you can do is literally be scrolling here. You could be like, I want to post something that is about wanting to increase your value as a NetSuite consultant. That sounds pretty good. Oh yes, I'll share that. So all you do is press share. It's automatically got the content in there for you. So I'd still recommend sort of going over it because sometimes we've generalized the template, so you'd need to sort of like add your market in. So you're like, oh yeah, amazing. Right, I want to put a comment in as well. Add that in, blah, blah, blah. And then you can just press share and then it's literally done. So when we say that content creating is easy, that's literally how easy it is for you to start posting and scheduling on your account. The wall, as we mentioned, is sort of that's access to sort of your colleagues' content. So what you can do is you can have a little browse. Could be for inspo, could just be to sort of have a look what other people are talking about, or it could be to then you like a post, say for example Joe lifts. Oh, that's actually really handy. I'd really like to post that. You can just press share on Paiger, and it does exactly like you've done in the vault. It just preloads the content in there for you. You can add your own image, and then you can press share. So that's another way of creating content. And then market news, as I said before, can be found on your dashboard. So what it does is it'll deliver sort of news to you here. So if you click the news tab here, that's all the sort of, have you done Boolean training?
I think we've got that coming up.
You've got it coming up. So essentially what Boolean search is it's a load of keywords, and that'll be keywords. Yeah, it'd be keywords to do with your market. So for example, here it's probably NetSuite and/or ERP. So what Paiger does is it's delivering news to you based on those keywords. So it'll troll the web for you and bring directly into your dashboard all the bits of news, all the blogs, all the things like that relevant to your market. So all you need to do is literally, you could give it a read, or if you wanted to, you could just press share. So if you press share here, for example, you like the sound of that, and go, all right, yeah, you could just share it as it is. Or if you did want to add a bit of something to the top of it, you could just press ghostwriter. And what it'll do is it'll read the article for you, summarize, and put it into your post. Here we are. And you can obviously make changes. So that's a way of sort of obviously delivering market news and/or for your sake to sort of learn more about your market, find out what's going on, key companies that could be restructuring, or they could have job cuts, or they could have expanded. Like, it's a great way for you to sort of know what the shape of your market looks like. And that's pretty much it, really. Boolean searches, I'll just go over that. Considering you haven't done training, this is a great way of sort of like a bit of an introduction. You'll get further training by Daniel Booth, I'm sure. But what Paiger does is it essentially creates your own Boolean strings. So, for example, give me a role title, Nathan.
Business analyst.
Business analyst. So we'll be specific about it. We'll put in NetSuite business analyst. And do you want it to be general UK, or is a specific area of the UK? Okay.
General
so
UK.
United. You press build search. And then it fills out for you. So all you need to do is check everything's as it should do. You can either rebuild. So if you didn't like that one, you can rebuild, or you can sort of manually edit it yourself. Then you can press save, and then it's literally right there for you. So then when you do have access to LinkedIn Recruiter, or using, say, like CV library, all you need to do is literally, like, if you've got your business analyst Boolean string there saved, you just press LinkedIn Recruiter and it takes you straight there. Or you can just copy your Boolean string here.
Can you press on LinkedIn Recruiter so I can see what it does, or what it'd look like?
I don't have access to LinkedIn Recruiter. Okay. So you'll be able to do it when you've got your Paiger account anyway. So
yeah,
if you have access to LinkedIn Recruiter, you can have a look at sort of what that looks like. And/or if you wanted to sort of do it within a project, you can just copy it and then paste it. If you wanted to do it that way instead. So that's it, really. So that's your sort of content creation tools, things like that. Have we got any questions before I set you your little task?
No.
No? Okay.
No, I don't think so.
No? So what we've done is we've already set up your account for you. So you don't need to touch anything. You don't need to sort of add anything. All you need to do is basically just schedule and share content for now. And then sort of, if you have any questions, or if you think, oh gosh, I've forgotten how to do that thing that Laura said, Paiger has a training tab to use so that you can, say if you've forgotten how to share a bit of market news, or you want to edit your prompts, or you want to reminder how to share a post, you can watch the training videos there. So yeah, so that's everything. So I'll shortly send out an email, and it will be to sort of try and create your own personal post for now. So what we'll do is it'll be an outline. So if I get you to draft that, and then what we'll do is we'll schedule in some time on Monday. Is that all right for you all?
Yeah.
Yeah, so we'll schedule in some time Monday to then I'll go around each of you and we'll do a bit of a session. We'll have a look through your personal post, and then what we'll do is we'll plan out your content for the week. And then we'll go from there. And then from then on, you'll have the other guys in the marketing team. But if you have any further questions, or if you want to know anything else, you obviously know where we are. We're up here. Or you can just sort of reach out on the chat that you will have. So yeah. So happy Paiger and LinkedIn, guys. I think you'll like it a lot. So yeah, it'll definitely make your lives a lot easier.
Amazing. Thanks, Laura.
Thank you.
No worries. Have a good lunch.
Thanks.
You too.
And he's got
Bye.